personal gain, and now I want to work on my body. As I'm getting older, I've noticed that not as young as I used to be. And right now I am 42. I do weigh, last time I checked was 141. My goal weight is 115. But then I want to, like, I would just want to get rid of all the fat, and I want to boost up my muscles. Like, I want to have a little bit of gain, but not too much. I don't know what else to include in that.
Well, that's awesome. I love that sharing, Candy. I really appreciate it. I didn't know, about your story. So it's awesome to hear about your story, and how amazing is it to actually hear a little bit of somebody else's story.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. It really makes it real when someone opens up about themselves, right?
Yeah.
Just offering your voice, what's happening with you, just whatever it is, has tremendous value for everybody else. That's awesome.
I would love to be there to help everybody else as well.
Where do you live, Candy?
Sorry, I missed that part. I'm in Prince George, BC, on the western part of Canada. So right now it is 11:07 a.m.
Awesome. Is the weather nice there as well?
It is super crappy. It is still winter here. There's no snow. It's finally melted, but we have, I think it was -5 this morning. But next week, I can't wait till next Thursday, +15. And we're centralized. We're in a bowl of mountains. So we're in the Rocky Mountains. So in our part, we get to see mountains all surrounding us. There's 2 rivers right through the middle of our city. It's absolutely gorgeous here. And there's so much to do. We have the ancient forest. We have the Forest for the World. We have everything. We have trails, bears, lots of wildlife. And you can go anywhere and work out or just gaze around, take pictures. So we're not secluded. Oh, hi. Didn't know my camera was on.
You've got no excuse.
No, I don't. I just didn't want to have, hold on. Oh, that's not it. There. You can kind of see the mountains in the background.
Yeah.
And we have no snow. And I have to hold the phone up to my ear so I can hear you guys. So that's city from my window. And here I am. And I got my workout clothes on.
It's nice to have you with us today, Kate. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're saying Joe, how's the week, man?
Week?
Yeah.
This week?
Couple of weeks I haven't seen you now.
Yes. I just got back from Montreal. It's good. It's okay. They're on their sector on another restriction there, so kind of everything shut down there. Came back home with the family. Feels great. Feels really good. Son, niece, nephews, and everything. So it's really cool. Really happy to be back. Really happy to be back. 2 weeks is too long. You know what I mean? It's like first week you feel okay, whatever, you're in a crowded house kind of thing and whatever, but I mean 2 weeks is too long.
Start to miss your space after a while.
Yeah, it's just I just miss just everybody, just like everything, all the funny little stuff that you miss from the kids. The little comments and the little this and just the little things, you know what I mean, that we don't really appreciate too much. Right. When you're away, it's like you really come here, let's do this. And so it's fun. So I'm really happy. I'm in a good mood. I'm good, eating great. Fruits all day. Have that, the meal in the evening, which is just nothing crazy. Like I don't splurge. I won't have French fries or anything. Like a kale butter sandwich with some mustard, and if I'm being a little greedy or whatever, I'll throw a little bit of mayo in there.
So one meal that's a little bit heavier, right?
Yeah, but not even much.
Yeah.
Well, obviously much. It's like a peanut butter splitting in two. putting like half the cowboy package in one and that, and a little bit of maybe lettuce and mustard, and,
Yeah.
and if I'm still hungry after, I'll have like another banana. But I mean, it's really just fruit.
Wow.
High energy food, right? So that's kind of replaced coffee, tea, all that stuff.
Do you feel the difference?
Of course.
Yeah, man.
Right away.
Yeah, man.
Everyone's asking me, like, how come you're able to run around and all day and this and that, you're not getting tired, you need a nap. I'm just like, just eat bananas and apples. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
High energy food, right?
Simple, right?
Closest to the sun.
It's
right?
simple, man.
So,
It's not complicated, but you never would think about it.
It makes so much sense where just people overlook it completely.
Yes.
It's just,
It's hidden.
So,
Yeah.
So that and smoothies first thing in the morning. Well, not first thing in the morning, usually after training.
Have you guys been on the same workout yet?
No. I don't
No?
think so.
No, I don't think so.
Steve just started last week
Well,
doing the
are great.
workouts. It's great to see you on the workouts online.
Especially when I'm gone too, so it's like I'm able to follow along too, so that's great. It's really great. And I'm not even using like heavy, and I'm seeing results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm 5 dumbbells, 5-pound dumbbells.
Yeah.
That's it. And
Yeah.
that was at the house.
Yeah.
When I got there, and I'm just like procrastinating just to go get more, go to Walmart to buy more, and it's like they're sold out, right? Because everybody's
I know.
right. So it's like I'm stuck with 5s, but I mean, like, and I'm used to like at the gym 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and I'm doing it well with the 5s, and it's seeing results, boom, boom.
Seeing change.
Yeah.
Doesn't even need to be heavyweight.
No.
Doesn't even need to annihilate your body. It's not about it at all.
No. You kind of see, you know what I mean? Your first meetings, and you're like, but then after
Yeah, right.
1 month, 2 months, it's like, okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but the workouts are great, and you do
Awesome.
the doubles and
Awesome.
So it's kind of like I said, the new normal, right?
Wow.
The
I
new
like
normal.
this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like this. Good. Candy, how you doing with the fruits? Are you eating fruits, Candy?
I eat lots of fruits all the time, and I have my smoothie every morning, and I have the OGX with the reishi in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do 1 scoop there, and I put a yogurt in, and a lot of fruit, a banana, usually pineapple, frozen pineapple. And I love eating my pears.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How's the food going, Steve?
Food for me is I'm still trying to bring that into a little bit of a balance. So I've been vegetarian for 8 years, so that's been something that I've been able to cut out. But something right now that I'm trying to bring into balance is how much I'm working with how much I have to balance out my personal stuff, which means preparing food, bringing it with me. So I always start my day I just have some neem and turmeric tea, and I end up fasting for about the first half of my day. And then once I get into work, it could be 8 to 12 hour shift at some point. So if I'm not able to prepare something, then I'm off to Freshie or Peter Pit to get myself some type of vegetarian option for the day. So I haven't really been able to structure my life at this point to kind of prepare the food or just do extended fast throughout work. So I'm hoping to pick up my momentum this week going forward and lighten up the load from the heavy oils and salt that I'm eating from these takeout places. So
you're trying to cut back on the takeout foods.
Yeah, I need to get up a little earlier,
a little more
prepare
organized.
some food, get a little more organized for my day, and
Can't just pack fruits with you, or
That's what I do.
just carry a bunch of
I go to
fruits.
Walmart, I grab a thing of bananas,
Yeah,
bag of apples,
yeah,
go home in the morning
Yeah.
and just get 3 or 4 bananas,
yeah,
4 or 5 apples,
yeah,
in the same Walmart bag.
yeah.
And,
Simple.
And all day I'm just in the car.
Just pounding fruit.
Just
That's
stuffing my
it.
face all day.
That's it. Yeah.
And when it's done, I put the fork through the peeled back in front of.
Don't even have to prepare anything.
It's like 3 minutes.
Don't
3
have to
seconds.
prepare anything. Just pound like some bananas
That's
and
it.
apples
That's
and
all.
pears and oranges. That's it.
That's all you do.
That's me too.
I do that.
awesome.
If I'm going out, I just carry the fruits with me.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
easy. No line up to Walmart or Freshco or wherever in the evening. Just go.
So food's good. Workouts, you're adding the workouts.
Yeah, so I've added the workouts, which I've been really impressed with as well, because I've done my own kind of routines up to this point, and I've found that, you know, following along with how you're doing it online, he said, like, I'm finding a few other muscles that are where it's a little bit sore that I haven't been working out. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. New stuff. Just the feeling of, like you said, like moving the lymph fluid, moving the blood, and getting that oxygen going. It's just a great feeling. Yeah. So I left every workout just feeling great from it. And like after the end of the week, I had a few sore muscles, which is always like a good feeling for me. I like exploring, finding these new muscles that I haven't really been triggering so much. So that's kind of how mine's been going this week.
Nice. And then we got to talk about, well, Candy, how's your workouts? Are you getting your exercise in, Candy? Maybe not around. What about
Sorry, no, I couldn't get to my mic to unmute it. So my workouts, you know, I'm with you every morning, even though it doesn't look like it, but I am. I'm really shy, as you can tell. I have my bestie, and we look for different ways to incorporate other things during certain times of our days. So, you know, he goes out for his early morning walk, and he'll go and find a hill, and he'll walk up it like 3 or 4 times. Me, I have 2 gym passes. I hate the outside, so I'll go to the gym and work out. But then there's different equipments and stuff like that. Or once it gets warmer, I'll have my rollerblades. So I'll be rollerblading, and I'll get my bike, and I'll start biking up the hills and stuff. So it's been going not too bad. And the eating, that's been going really, really well. Like, everybody has their faults of, you know, having McDonald's or something like that. I haven't been there for, I think, a month now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like it. So this thinking and talking about what we want, right? Thinking and talking about what we want. That's it. Just affirming it out. Putting it into the circle. Talking about what you want to try and do. Awesome.
What do I want? I want to be healthy. I want to have the female version body of yours.
Let's get it.
All right.
Let's get it.
I'm ready.
All right.
2 days.
2 days.
That's what I'm trying
Have
to
you
do.
been going twice, Joe?
I've been trying. That's what I'd like to get into. Doing a morning, like a workout first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
which I do.
Uh-huh.
But then in the evening to catch at least like one of the afternoon.
Nice. That's what Jackie does. She does twice a day. Yeah.
But she has abs. Like,
Sometimes Tim does it too. Sometimes some people do it. It's
try to get
awesome.
into that.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Tune in twice. Awesome.
I don't think I could do 2 times a day. I've got too much going on. I'll try. I do have a physical job, though.
For a walk, if you can get out for a walk once. If you can get out for a walk once, awesome. Like if you can get out for a second one twice. Joe's in my my online training program, so he tunes into my Zoom channel a couple times a day to work out.
Yes, I do love those, and I do comment on the ones that I'm on or see.
He's in my my private training program. So
Oh, okay.
my regular schedule, yeah, he sees me a couple times a day. Him or myself or my wife are always training. We've got sessions going on throughout the day that people can tune into if they want.
Very, very
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So just like the workout we did the other day on Thursday.
Pardon?
The workout we did on Thursday.
It was fantastic.
So that's the kind of thing that we've got that going on all day long, my wife and I, here in the studio here.
Yeah, but you guys are trained to do that. I would probably die. Even, you know, Rod even commented on that. And he's like, wow, he talked the whole time. I couldn't even do that. I can't even breathe half the time.
You get used to it. You get used to it.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I want. I want to get used to it.
It becomes a habit. You just
Mm-hmm.
it becomes your habit. This is it. We're just creating a new habit for ourselves.
Yes.
This is it. We're just creating a new habit. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to move forward with a little presentation today, and then maybe if you guys feel like you want to comment along the way, if you feel like you want to ask me a question, you can always stop and answer a question. No problem.
Okay.
Let's see if I can. Here we go. All right. Nice. Just a second.
What's that?
So how's everything? Good? How are your kids?
Yeah, it's good. Kids are good. They're hanging in there, doing the best. Yeah. How's Montreal?
Okay. I mean, I used to live there for like, I'm from there 40 years, so I just moved to Burlington only 3 years ago. But, so it's kind of depressing, sort of, in the sense you're always going on about the same songs. So you get back home here and you see the river and and just like under the lake around it. It's great.
Yeah, it's nice to come up here to the lake.
Go all the way from London, what, an hour and a half, right?
Well, yeah, it's about 45 minutes.
Getting ready for the next ice cold therapy.
Yeah, want to do some today?
Huh?
You want to do some today?
I didn't put my shorts, but you also
Next time we can get set for it.
In the car just in case. Never know what's going to happen.
All right. So we did some accountability. We did some sharing. We did some expression. We did some communication. We did a little problem solving. No one seems to have too much problems. Everyone seems to be up on a let's go for it type of, everyone's feeling good. Everyone seems to be in the right mindset. I think it's awesome.
I love that energy. There's another group I'm in, and it's always I can't, or I've got problems, or they don't show up, or it's very depressing for somebody that wants to actually go forth and do things. And I don't know how to get them on the same mindset.
Yeah, trying to get somebody else onto a mindset. It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing. Trying to get other people to embrace the mindset. It's like the worst thing you can try to do, you got to stop trying to get anybody to do anything. You got to really just model it for yourself. And actually, if you actually start modeling it for yourself, then you start to raise up, your energy starts to go up, your frequency starts to go up, and then after a while of you doing it, they start to notice that you're different, and then that inspires them to go for it. But when you're trying to get them to do it, oh man, and then it's pulling you down, trying to get the other person to do it, you know what I mean? Whereas if you can just start doing it for yourself, and then your energy goes up, like everyone here is doing the right things, and you can tell everyone's talking about the right things, everyone's doing the right things, everyone's feeling the right things, everyone's modeling it. So then we start to build off of each other.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a build off of each other because everyone's committing to doing the work that has to happen, right? All you gotta just focus on the work, Candy. Don't worry about trying to convince anybody. That's the thing. Don't try to convince anybody. Just focus.
It's the mantle. It's the core.
What's in the asteroid?
I don't know. Sorry, guys. How about we talk about this after my Zoom, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. He was wondering what the center of the Earth was and what the center of an asteroid was.
This is the universe. Look at this. Look at that. So this is it. This is my presentation today I've been working on. So it's my first time putting it together. So I'm gonna work through it, see what I can pull off for you today. I'm really excited about it. The universe is mental, an image, the mind of creation. This is an idea that I've come to understand more deeply over the last couple of years. So, I'm almost 50 now, and I didn't come to recognize this until most recently. I've heard ideas like it, in my past in different ways, in different stories, and different things that I had studied spiritually, but it wasn't until I really found this in the natural laws in the last couple of years that I really internalized this and meditated on it. And it's been such a change in my life, really embracing this idea. While I've been healing myself massively over the last couple of years, it's this idea of singularity. It's this idea of unity consciousness. It's the idea of love. That the universe is a loving source. We come from that loving source. We have that in us. We are a part of it all. Whether you want to call it the all, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it source energy, whether you want to call it a spirit energy or a Christ consciousness, it's a loving energy, and it's the root of all things. It's coming to the understanding that we are a part of that. That brings us into the right energy. It's just the starting place. It's just a thought. It's just an intention. It's just an idea. But as we practice this idea, it becomes more real. Just like when you practice exercising, you get more fit. Just when you practice eating the right foods, you get better at it. The same thing happens when you practice and meditate and breathe and intend and imagine new ideas. So today I want to just talk about 7 concepts that I think are helpful to really kind of snuggle into this idea more deeply and make it more powerful and effective in your life. 7 concepts. 1, duality, mind, body, spirit, as above, so below, multidimensional reality, the power of now, Eckhart Tolle, frequency and vibration, and understanding the great paradox. I just want to talk about these 7 ideas today.
Love them. I can't wait to dive farther into it.
Okay, let's go deeper into it. The multidimensional universe. So for me, the physical reality is these 178 elements. I learned this in grade 12 science. This is the periodic table. It works across the top. I don't know if you can see that. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Those are the first 8 elements. They're across the top. This is everything that exists that we've got in the known universe. This is all of the elements that everything is built from. And if you look at the structure of these elements, if you look at this stuff, you begin to see that every single element up there is made up of protons and electrons. So I don't know how you can get around the idea of duality. In the physical reality, there's always 2. To me, there just seems to be no alternative to that idea.
Hey, you were right. Holy shit!
Polarity and duality are 2 things that I can't ignore and I can't let go of. For me, it has to be involved in the program, and you're going to see that when I'm talking about things, it comes up all of the time. I can't seem to get away from it. The other idea that I want to kind of introduce to you today is that all things are three things as well too. Polarity and duality, all things are three things. I want to sort of explain what that kind of means today. So I want you to understand that everything in my understanding of reality is also mind, body, and spirit. So everything has got a masculine and a feminine. Everything has got a proton and electron. I like to call it thinker and feeler, the mind and the heart, the mind and the body. And all things are also divided into body, mind, and spirit. Physical, spiritual, which is the higher, esoteric part of ourself, the ether, the untouchable part. And then there's mind, which is kind of in between the two. Now this idea, body, mind, spirit, we hear that body, mind, spirit, and sometimes we hear this body, mind, spirit, emotion. So I just wanted to put that up there, those two visuals. I kind of like this triangle one for the reason that this wellness in the middle, I would like to change that wellness to emotion. But it's wellness in the image. I'd like to see that as emotion, and because I kind of see emotions or feelings as a result and effect. Emotions or feelings are an effect. We are wellness. We are the feeling. We are the effect of what we're doing to our body and what we're doing in our mind. That's how we feel. And the spirit, what I like about this other image here is it kind of breaks it all up into two. And I really see the duality there. I see body and mind, thinker and feeler. Mind is thinker, body is feeler. I like that, body, mind. And then I've got emotions and spirit. And I kind of see this as spirit energy is at the root, the foundation of the planet, of the universe. And it's also spirit energy right inside of us in our solar plexus. So there's always an internal root for spirit, and there's always an external root for spirit. It's inside of us and around us, and we can always choose to focus within or without. That's always our choice. But I want you to understand emotion or feeling. In my mind, just sharing my perspective, emotions and feelings are like the internal body, the physical body's expression of spirit. So we've got kind of poles. We got poles, body and mind, polarity, duality, body and mind in the physical body. And then we've got spirit and emotion, like spirit equates to emotion or feeling inside of us. And we can adjust our feelings inside of us ourselves by adjusting our body and mind, our nutrition, what we put in our body, and what we think about in our mind, and what we imagine in our mind, or we hold in our body, in our heart, in our imagination. We can create those feelings. So body and mind, spirit and emotion, I think these are important concepts to understand. So another one that I really like, as above, so below. This is a really classical idea. You might have heard it before. It's very popular, natural law number 2. It's a natural law. There's a microcosm and a macrocosm. There's what's going on right in our life, and then there's a model of that happening outside of us as well too. And that's what this presentation is actually about today. Is the universe is mental. It exists within the mind of creation and the mind of God. Just like we create our reality first in mind, and then we bring it into reality, we can't create a house until we first imagine it in mind, and then get the architect to draw the plan, and then then create it, build it. It has to first come in mind before it can come into reality. So we'd have to get health in our mind before we could get it in our reality. We'd have to think about health in our mind before we could get it in our reality. We'd have to believe that we're growing health. We'd have to believe that we're growing wealth. We'd have to believe that we're growing our relationships. We'd have to believe that we're growing love. If we wanted those things to grow in our life, we'd have to think about them and feel them into our reality before it comes into the physical. And just like we create our reality in mind first, God is creating this for us in his mind. Right? And if you take that idea into your brain and really meditate on that, where's the evil here? You're in the mind of God. That's where you are. Right? Like, meditate on that idea and really internalize the idea that there is just no darkness except the darkness that you allow into your mind. Right? We get what we give to our world. If we're giving out trauma and fear and darkness because we've got that in our mind, then we're going to see that in our reality. But we are the creators of it. It isn't evil. We aren't being punished. We're always being loved and directed towards the light. Health must appear in the mind first. The human must choose it in their mind to heal themselves. We've got to choose it with our intentions. We got to speak it out with each other. We got to share it with each other. And we ignite each other when we do that. That's how it happens. The multidimensional universe. I want to say about, the fact, some people say, well, get real, be real. There's a lot of people right now that are putting on 2 masks, 3 masks. Some people are doing this. Some people are choosing to, manage their health with drugs and chemicals with a jab, right? Some people are trying to manage their health this way. That's not what this program's about. This program is about naturally healing your body. This is about managing your health yourself. This is about health, love, joy, abundance. This is about creating your very best self by choice. Right? I say everyone is free to choose to be the victim or the victor. And it's a change of perspective. Am I living in the end of times? Or am I starting something awesome and new? That's a change of perspective. And whatever you hold in mind is what creates your reality. It's a multi-dimensional universe in that you can create your own reality, Joe can create his own reality, and I can create my own reality. And they can be all different, and we can all say, be real, and this is my real, that's your real, that's your real. Sometimes people think, the real is only what they hear on television, or the real is only what they heard on the news, or what their friend or their family or their parents said. Whatever they said is real, that's what's real. What that doctor said is real, so that means it's real. What this doctor diagnosed me with this, so that means I have this for the rest of my life. Well, that's your reality as long as you accept it as your reality. If you accept disease into your reality, then you are the creator of the disease. You're accepting it. If you think that substances, chemicals, and drugs is the solution to your health, well, that's your reality. And you can choose something different if you like. This program is something different than that. I want to talk a little bit about 3D and 5D. I want to pull up my board, and I just want to talk about those dimensions a little bit more, just so you can get a little bit greater understanding of what that really means, dimensions. Like, you've heard of the first dimension. Can you imagine a one-dimensional object? Like if you have, one single point, a single point is a one-dimensional object. In geometry, in sacred geometry, we call this the monad. Just a one point. Just a single point. This is, right, one dimension. That's the starting place. So you got your first dimension, and then you got a second point, and you create the second dimension. A 2 points allows us to draw a straight line between it. Right? So now you can make your first vector, your first line, when you got 2 points. That's two-dimensional. Like a two-dimensional being would be like an ant. He looks like he's always looking straight across, like everything's really flat for him. He only sees everything in 2 dimensions. He can't see height. He can't see how tall you are. He only sees like the side of your shoe. That's the second dimension, right? And the third dimension is that third point. And I really like to point out that makes the triangle. That's the very first shape. That's the primary shape. And that's why I really like that triangle image for the body, mind, spirit. It's the first, it's the Trinity. Right? The body and mind are the 2 bits of the human, and then the spirit connecting to the source. It's like sun and earth and human. The human is the being between the 2. That triangle seems to be a real symbolic space for me. The third dimension. The fourth dimension is like time, space. We talk about time, we talk about space, we talk about distance, we talk about traveling a distance. This is the fourth dimension, distance and time. So the fourth dimension could also consider, now, the power of now. Like in every moment, this is the only point that really counts, is always in the present. And if you read Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, that was a really influential book in my life. Focusing on the breath. Coming to the power that's always in the present. That's the only time where you have present. You can never really get to tomorrow. It always happens right now. You can never do anything about yesterday. You got to be in the power. You got to be in the present, and the breath does that. And that's the foundation of this program. This is a breathing program, a breathing and moving program. It's a breath work and movement program. It's an oxygenation program. It's a hydration program. It's a hydrogenation program. That happens with raw foods, with fruits and vegetables, with oxygen. Those are all oxygen-rich foods, hydrogen-rich foods. That's the fourth dimension, is the power of now. The fourth dimension is time. Time brings me to the moment. The moment brings me to the breath. What do I need in every moment? You know, the breath brings me to now. What am I thinking about right now? What's my energy like right now? Checking in with yourself. Checking in with yourself daily. Checking in with yourself numerous times throughout the day. Just getting clear about where you're at. Getting into the power of now. Right now there's a choice to move between 3D and 5D. And not everybody's at the same place. Some people are really, living in the 3D. Like what they heard is the reality. How they fix themselves is by putting a chemical in. How they build their bodies by eating protein to make protein. That's how they live. They live like really believing everything is physical. If I get a new car, I'll be happy. If I get a new house, I'll be happy. If I make more money, I'll be happy. Just trying to get my happiness from coffee or food or drugs or sex or people. This is all physical stuff. And there's an alternative now for everyone. There's an alternative all the time to shift from 3D and move into 5D, which is all inclusive, which is consciousness. There's the circle. Like the triangle sits inside the circle. That's the 5D choice. And some people can step out of the physical ideas that they've learned in the physical reality in the 3D and step up to a bigger idea, the 5D, a focus on love, on consciousness, on presence, on the here, on the now. This is an option that we have. It's a high vibe reality, but you've got to choose it. You've got to think about it. You've got to intend to go there. You've got to imagine yourself there. You've got to practice and rehearse it in order for that to happen. 5D reality is perfect health. Unconditional love and joy and perfect health. Abundance. It's there for us. We can achieve that. We can live there. We can learn to live there. So I think I can't get away from this idea. It has to be discussed. Frequency and vibration. This is another one that is a big one in the things I like to think and talk about. I always say that we're trying to pick up our frequency. We're trying to pick up our vibration. We're trying to be happier and healthier. Right? I want to put that on the board here just to show you like an image. It kind of brings duality and frequency and vibration into a visual here. If I can pop up 2 points, like imagine everything in the known reality has a frequency, has a vibration. Everything does. So everything, on one end we got the physical, and on the other end we got the spirit. And everything is in between there in terms of vibration. Like physical, this is like rock, the most dense, gross material. And then this is the highest frequency. This is like God consciousness. So this is the highest frequency, and this is the most dense, physical. And everything in the universe exists in between here. So these are 2 poles. Duality again, you see duality again, 2 poles. You got your high vibe, and you got your low vibe. This is your high vibration, and this is your low vibe. Right, and this works the same way also, for emotions. I'll give you the water example. If you, obviously, if we go out to the lake right now and check the temperature of the water, it's going to be somewhere around 30 degrees Celsius, 30, 40, 50 maybe. If I freeze it, if I drop it down to zero, what? It turns to ice. You know, I should draw a new line for this. You know, if I take water and I expose it to 0 degrees, it turns to ice. And if I take it to 100 degrees, it turns to steam. Right? So if I change the temperature, the frequency and vibration of the water changes its constituency. It changes its effect in reality. In physical reality, it becomes steam, right? It's still water, but it's just changed from this frequency of 0 to 100 degrees frequency, vibration. It's just gone up in vibration, and it changes the effect that water has. It turns from solid to vapor. So imagine that we are made up of water, right? If we're made up of water, then we can change our frequency and vibration and change what we're made up of as well too. And a lot of what change happens, most of what change happens, all of what change happens begins in the mind, right? If you think about kind of everything emotionally, like love and hate. If I put love and hate here, right? If I put love on one end, one pole, and I put hate on the other, you know, one's at low frequency, one's at high frequency, and you know, there's varying degrees. And in the middle here is like, you know, you don't care. You know, here's like nice, I like, and then love, and then here's like don't like. So I mean, it's just a continuum of energy. So health is the same way. Health can be determined or raised by changing our focus as well too. So if we put health over here, and disease over here, you know, low frequency, high frequency. And you know, if we put ideas over here, like if we put fear over here, we put courage over here, again, we can raise the fear up to courage. It's just a matter of changing the way we're looking at the situation. It's changing our perspective. We can be afraid of the killer virus right now, or we can have courage to believe in ourselves. That's just a change of focus and attention. That's a change of frequency that's made by changing our mind. We can choose higher frequency thoughts in the mind like God. We can choose God-like thoughts. Right? Just meditating on that idea of being held in the mind of God. Just breathing and holding that idea in your mind. The great paradox. Change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I got two things here. Absolute truth and perceived truth. Understand that there's always kind of two realities. And some people will always say, you know, get real, get real. But what's real? What, you're real? Like, why are we supposed to take your real? Because you said so? Because such and such doctor said so? Well, I mean, you can find another doctor that said something different. It just depends who you talk to. It just depends who you've given authority to in your life. Or if you're taking authority for yourself. Are you taking charge of your health and wellness for yourself? Or are you leaving your health and wellness to what the doctor said? Or what somebody else has said about you? Like, it's about taking charge. It's about making decisions for your own health and wellness. This is what it's about. This is what healing ourselves is about. Taking charge, making a decision at some point in our life that, you know what? I've heard this and I've heard that before. Well, here's what I think now. It's just like, I've heard these ideas my whole life, but I'm just sharing with you, you know, this is what I think now. This is just a decision that I've made in my head. Just getting clear about my decisions, just speaking it out in my life. So there's the absolute truth. That's the truth of God. You know, God has a truth. He created this reality. The Creator created this reality. The source energy created this reality. There's a truth in the mind of God. But who knows what's in the mind of God? Nobody does. And if anyone tries to tell you that they do, they're lying to you. You know, the Christians will say they know, or so-and-so will say they know, but truthfully, nobody knows what's in the mind of God. The absolute truth, nobody knows. So which leaves us with the perceived truth. The truth that you choose in your mind. Right? The absolute truth, or the truth of God, is constant. It's steadfast. It's cornerstone. It's anchored or grounded. I like to think of it as the natural law. If you want to know God, you got to know the laws of God. It's natural. It's earth. It's just anchored. It's grounded. It doesn't change. It always does the same thing. Then you've got the perceived truth. The individual truth is like what each person chooses. Like, do you believe you need to take a jab in order to be healthy? Do you think you need to take all of those proteins, vitamins, minerals, all of that stuff that they're telling you to be healthy? That's a thought. You can think it, but then you can also change it. The perceived truth is dependent on your life experiences. If you've had some, troubles happen in your life, then you may have some negative opinions about some things. Our upbringing makes a difference. Our culture, our sex, our social or economic status, whether we're rich or poor, what time of day it is. Sometimes, I'll ask my wife something in the morning and then, at night it's a different thing. Time of day matters, season, whether it's hot or cold, where you are on the world. Geography makes a difference. Where you're standing on the world makes a difference. Your personal choices, your experiences. As soon as you make a decision, the universe conspires to support you. This is about making decisions. This is about making new decisions in your life. This is about choosing for yourself. I'm in charge of my health. I'm in charge of my wellness. I'm in charge of my strength. I'm in charge of my nutrition. I'm taking charge of my life. This is making decisions that are empowering you. When you make a decision, you step into your power. So 7 immediate action steps that I want you to take action on. Make some new decisions. Decide what you love. Whatever you focus on grows. So you want to think and speak about what it is that you love. You want to grow the things that you love. You want to think about them most often. You want to put them in your mind. What are the 5 things I love the most, or the 7 things that I love the most, or the 10 things that are most important to me? Those are things you should write them down. You should know what they are. Decide what you love. Choose natural health. Choose being in charge of your health. Empower yourself right now. Don't get caught in this, like, I don't have any power. Like, I'm a victim of what's going on outside. I'm a victim of something that's going around me. Let go of this idea that you're a victim at all. Choose empowerment ideas. Choose self-care. Begin the day with a mindful practice. I want to do a little mindfulness with you today. Take massive action, movement and breathwork action. I want to do a hero's journey, a quick little hero's journey, just to show you what that's about. And I want to show you how to take laser beam focus in your life. So I'm going to take this to the board here, and I want to do a quick hero's journey. I want you to see how I do it, and then I want you to see that I would encourage you to do this as well. I'd encourage you to do this for yourself. So the hero's journey, I wonder if, I guess I'll just, you probably can't see that, Candy, right? But I think the sun.
I can see it.
Can you see it okay?
Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay, great. So I want to do a quick hero's journey for you, and I want to encourage you to do your own. I'm just going to do something quick for you so you see how I do it, and then hopefully you can do it for yourself. So I'm going to put another timeline up for myself here. And I'm going to put, here's me at 13 years old. I got picked on, and someone beat me up and I got embarrassed, and I made a decision that I was going to be fit. I was going to be big. I was going to protect myself. I was going to get big. So I kind of put into my mind at this point in my life that I just wasn't good enough. Now I didn't see it as that at the time. I just saw it as like, I'm going to be big. When I hit 18, just before my 19th, my mother died. And my dad made me move out. So here I thought I wasn't good enough. I wasn't big enough. I wasn't good enough for my life. Here my mother died. My dad made me move out. I felt like a victim. I felt like a victim of my life. And so I carried this I'm not good enough and this victim mentality out into the world on my own. And then I started recreating all of those circumstances in my life. And I can tell you, I could pull up 12 of them. I'm just going to put a couple of them on the board here, just to give you a couple of ideas. At 30, I went bankrupt. Right? So financially not good enough. Demonstrating that in my life. At 32, I tore my pectoral muscle off my body, bench pressing 400 pounds. And I'm going to put this one in here. At 27, my girlfriend left me for Sean Ray. Do you know who Sean Ray is? Sean Ray was my hero when I was a kid. You know that guy?
No.
I don't know.
You know Sean Ray?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. He was a bodybuilding hero of mine. And this guy was a hero of mine. And the girl that I was living with, we went down to the Mr. Olympia competition, and he talked to my girlfriend and took her away from me. This has happened to me like so many times in my life. I was recreating this. I went bankrupt again here at 40, and I almost lost my relationship. And that's when I said, like, you know what? Like, I need to revisit my mindset. Something's wrong with the way that I'm thinking and living. Like I almost lost my family, my kids, my marriage. I lost my money all again. I lost my career again. And at 40, I said, fuck, like something's wrong with what I'm thinking, saying, and doing. And I just went like deep dive into mindset. I started studying Anthony Robbins and started studying Abraham Hicks and just getting the mindset of success. Like I was doing something wrong. And then once I started to get into studying the mindset and raising up my frequency, that's when I started to ask the universe for more, and that's when I started to receive more information. I want to encourage you to like look at what your world is telling you.
Ya, tráeme
Do a little hero's journey of your own, and I encourage everyone to do their own hero's journey and see how the world is talking to them, how your life is talking to you. See how your life is talking to you. What's your life trying to tell you? I had to look back at it and then realize, oh, you know what? And I didn't realize this till 45. Like, oh, I was thinking I wasn't good enough, and then I was recreating I wasn't good enough all the time. I was a victim, and I was always thinking of life as me being a victim, and I was pulling that victim energy and always afraid of life, like something bad was going to happen to me, and something bad kept happening to me over and over and over again until I started to recognize, oh, I'm the one that's creating victim in my mind. And if I want to change it, I'm going to have to like really get conscious more often about what I'm thinking and saying daily. So that's about looking at what life was telling me. And another thing, getting clear about where I want it to go. So I call that getting laser beam focused. Getting laser beam focused. You got to get. So this is the other thing that I want you to do, would be to get clear on your goals. And there's seven key goals that I want you to make. I want to tell you that if you can make a decision about 7 aspects of your life, that you can be fulfilled and happy and healthy and well for the rest of your life. But you got to really address kind of all 7 of these ideas. One is your personal goals. You got to get clear about what you want personally. You want to be healthy and well. You want to be lean, strong, healthy, and well. You want to have a great relationship, right? You want to start with a relationship with yourself. You want to love yourself. I want to love me. I want to be healthy. I want to be well. I want to be strong. I want to be fit. I want to be energetic. So you got to have some personal goals like that, right? Get clear about your personal goals. Then also your primary relationship. Now, this might be a sexual relationship, or it might be like a mother-daughter, father-son relationship. It may be your lover. It may be your brother. It doesn't have to be your lover. Just whoever is in your life the most, that's who you've been given like life to spend with right now. That's who the universe has gifted to you to share life with right now. And that, how you think and speak about that relationship is very important. The person that's most important to you in your life, the person that you share life with the most, how you're thinking and speaking about that person is paramount in your life. I had to learn how to stop thinking and speaking poorly about the people that I love the most. I had learned some bad habits in my life from my family home, from my childhood home, from my early experiences. I have to learn how to think and speak differently about the people that I love. I have to learn and speak differently about myself. So the primary relationship, how are you thinking and speaking about your primary relationship? How are you thinking about your relationships to others? Like, are you really wishing well, goodness, health to the other, or are you envious of the other? Are you truly trying to help the other be well? Are you truly happy when someone else wins? Or are you upset when somebody else wins? Are you truly wishing your friends and your family all the best, or are you wishing them to listen to you or understand you? Or you can flip that and become the victim of your relationship. Like, I wish they'd just listen to me. But that's a control drama, right? You can be trying to control, you can be trying to compete with them. You could be comparing yourself to them. You could be judging them. You could be envious of them. You could be angry at them. You could be sad at them. And none of these things are going to help you. These are all low frequency things. Rather than, and if you are actually, I wish health, wellness, abundance, joy, and happiness to my wife, to my children, to my clients, to my family, to my friends, to the planet, to the trees, to the sun, to the earth. What's my relationship with the planet, with the others? So there's your relationship with your primary relationship. There's the relationship with the others, with the rest of reality, with the poor, with the rich. What's your relationship in your mind with the poor, with the rich, with the people that are in wheelchairs, with the men, with the women? And we've all got blind spots. We all do. White people may not be able to see what they're saying and doing to black people. Black people may not be able to see what they're doing to Indians. Indians may not be able to see men may not be able to see what they're doing to women. Adults may not be able to see what they're doing to their children. There's always a blind spot. We all have one. But it's to wish well to the rich and to the poor, to the decrepit, to everyone out there. We've got to have that mindset out there, going out there, positively loving out there. And that comes from working through clarity with relationship goals, with career goals. You got to get clear about what your work is. You got to get clear about what your passion is, what you're committed to, what you're working on, what you're developing. You got to get clear about your financial goals. These are real life things. If you've got a bad relationship with money, it starts with a personal relationship with yourself. And you've got to get a good, positive relationship with money because you're going to need it. It's a part of life. You got to have a positive thought and word relationship for money. You got to think and speak positively about money. Future, your future. What are you optimistic about your future, or are you pessimistic? Like, I'm never going to be able to do this, or this is a terrible situation that I'm in. What's the way that you're looking at towards your future? This really matters. How you're looking at your future really matters. And the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The last one is reciprocity. This is like, how are you giving back to the planet? What's your give back? What are you doing? What are you gifting? What are you giving away? Who are you giving away to? Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's your friend. Maybe it's people on Facebook. Maybe it's, who are you deciding to give away to? Who are you focusing on giving away to? You got to get clear about this decision. How are you going to give back to your life? This is reciprocity. This is important. We have to have a balance in our life. We have to find a balance in our life. Reciprocity or legacy, what you're leaving, what are you leaving here? Or balance. I say, like, you've got to balance what you're getting with what you're giving. If you're getting a lot, you're trying to get from life, and you're not giving, then you're out of balance. You're reciprocity. You're not giving back to life. And you can't win until you're in some sort of balance with life. We're all getting what we're giving, right? If we start practicing giving love, then watch what happens. If we start practicing thinking about and giving love out to our universe, watch what starts to happen to us with regards to our health and our wellness. So I just want to finish up today with a little self-love practice. Since we're all here together, we've done some of the mindset stuff here, which is a big part of it. Understanding it, understanding what it is that we're doing, understanding what it is that we're working on, talking about the important things in our life, making ourselves accountable to each other, intending things, imagining things, sharing. So I'm going to ask for some feedback after today. Hopefully some people will share and contribute some more. I love what's already happened. But I'd like to just move to a little self-love practice here to finish things up for today. And then we'll open up a little bit of sharing afterwards. And, basically, I just want to share this very simple way to kind of understand giving love to yourself. Like, I want to really break it down for you. Like, we're told we have to love ourselves, but whoever teaches us how to love ourselves? It's like we never actually get taught how. And I want to tell you that I've discovered a way for me to love myself, and this is what I've been applying to myself, and this is what I share. It's what I do myself and what I share with others. So I'm just sharing this with you today, the same things that I do for myself. So if you just get yourself into a sitting position or a laying position, whatever is comfortable for you, someplace that you can close your eyes and tune out the outside world. We're trying to tune out the physical world a little bit. We want to tune in to our internal world. And we do this best by closing the eyes and just focusing on the breath. The breath brings us to the here and the now. And what's really going on here and now is that we've got a trillion cells, 50 trillion cells, taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. This is what's really going on. This is coming to the present. Like, we think we've got to go to work and we've got to pay these bills and we've got to get this money and we think these things, but we're coming out of the busy mind. We're coming into the consciousness by focusing on the breath. We're coming out of all of the things that we think we need, and we're coming to what's real. Really, we're a trillion cells breathing, taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. We're just bringing ourselves to that attention. We're just bringing ourselves to that awareness. We're just coming to that focus collectively. We're just sharing this moment together. We're just bringing our power together and sharing the breath. Let's try to focus on the inhale and the exhale breath. Let's try to focus on 5 breaths. Try to stay with your breath only. Try to be still and just breathe for 5 inhales and exhales. without losing attention or focus. Just watching your own breath. That's it. If any thoughts come into your head, just try to tune them out and just try to tune back into your breath. Let's practice for 3 more inhales and exhales. Now let's try to add a pause and the deepest inhale. Let's take our deepest inhale. Let's pause and hold our breath for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And let's breathe it all out. And let's pause and hold in an expired breath for 10 or 15 seconds. Try to breathe in for a full inhale. Hold your breath for 10 or 15 seconds. And then breathe everything out. Fully expire your air. And then hold your breath for 10 or 15 seconds. Practice that for 3 to 5 breaths. So just focusing on your breathing, you may notice, helps you to come out of the busy mind, coming out of thinking and coming into something that doesn't require thought. So we're thinking just about breathing. Breathing happens autonomically. So we can focus just on breath and we can come out of the mind. Once we leave the mind, we enter into the consciousness. And then in the consciousness, we can begin to reprogram the self. We can reprogram the subconscious in this space. So we come out of the busyness of mind, whatever's going on in mind. You could observe what's going on in mind first, and then you can let go of what's going on in the mind and just focus on the breath and kind of tune out the mind. Just focusing on the breath, 5-10 minutes, focusing on breathing. And then we can begin to affirm positively like what it is that we want. We want to love ourselves. We want health. We want wellness. We want joy. We want abundance. So we can use our imagination to envision these things growing in our life. We can intend these things into our life. I am growing in health. I am growing in wellness. I am growing in abundance. I am growing in joy. I believe in myself. I believe I am valuable. I believe I am worthy. I believe I am good. I am good enough. I am good enough to fix, change, heal my life. I am made of love. I am just coming to the love within myself. I love me. I love the others. I wish my love out to the others. With each inhale, I draw up my love. With each exhale, I allow my loving energy to share out from me to my world. That's an intention. That's an image I can conjure in my mind, in my feminine mind, in my imagination. I can conjure the image of growing in health and wealth and joy and love with every inhale and exhale. That's an imagination. That's a decision you make in your mind to return to your health, to restore your health. That's a decision. These are decisions that we can make. So if you want to get started straight away, you can get my ebook on my website. You can get my 4-day detox on my website. You can get my 10-day free process on my website. HiEndFitness.com. HIEND. HIEND. HiEndFitness.com. Follow me on YouTube or on Instagram, High End Fitness. If you want to book an intro call, you can send me an email. You can do all that through my website. Follow me on Facebook. We've just done some natural healing. We've just shared together today. If you'd like to share some comments, I would love to get some comments or questions or feedback from anyone. I don't want to force anyone to do anything, but if anyone wants to say anything, I'd love to encourage you to add your voice to our group, because when you contribute your voice to the group, that makes you accountable to the group. That's the benefit of group coaching. I've learned from doing retreats and being on group coaching calls and interaction that this is the way that we grow, by making ourselves a little vulnerable and sharing. If there's anyone that would like to share, please unmute yourself. Or
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Robert, and I would just like to thank you, John, for doing what you do and trying as hard as you do to extend love energy into the multiverse. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Robert. Would you like to share with our group at all? And you don't have to either. You can also say no. Would you like to share with our group at all what it is you're trying to do, what it is you want to do, what's most important to you, what's blocking you, anything at all about what you're trying to do or what you want to do or what's blocking you?
I don't think at this time, John, but I'm on a journey, and I just have a good sense that I've found a good coach to help me on my journey. So I'll just leave it at that for now. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I found it very impactful with everything displayed, and seeing the timeline as opposed to how I reflect on my own timeline in my head, seeing it actually written out, I feel made it more real, trying to understand my journey. And I think that that's something I'm going to do for my journey and going forward as well, is create a timeline.
It's a hero's journey. Yeah, I can send you some content on that. We'll definitely.
I found that extremely interesting.
Have I sent you the hero's journey? Have you seen it yet? I'd like to send that to both you guys. Make sure we get that to you guys this week. The hero's journey and the goal setting. Those are two things over the next couple weeks. If you could spend 1 week working on your hero's journey and you just practice it. You just get up in the morning and you write it out. And if you write it out every morning and you write it out every night, you start to wake up with it and go to sleep with it. It's going to start to go, you know what? I'm seeing something here that I didn't see before. You know, there's something I'm missing here that I maybe didn't look at. And then you can kind of reflect back on it and go, you know what? I didn't even realize that I was holding that idea in my mind for so long.
Yeah, I can see how you're able to connect a lot more dots that go a lot farther back from where you are now by doing this timeline. So I have a feeling it's going to unveil.
It does. It does. It shows you how your life is speaking to you, right?
How it's unfolded.
How it's unfolded to you, and it's where you are right now. Like you do this when you're 30, you do this when you're 40, you do this when you're 50, and it means different things at different times. Like this part of my story, it made this much sense at this point, but then when you said it, when I did it again, oh, now it makes more. It registers more deeply with me. So we can revisit this drill often, and same with also obviously goal setting. That's something we got to revisit every 3 months or 6 months or something. We got to come to that clear vision again. If we practice it every day, you know, writing out what I want to see with myself, what I want to see with my partner or that primary person in my life. Even if it's someone that's maybe even not there yet, maybe who I want that person to be, who I want my partner to be, the type of relationship I want to have. Right? So even just thinking and talking about how I want that relationship, rather than always thinking and talking like, I don't have a relationship, so that doesn't matter, or I don't care about a relationship, or they're like this, or so-and-so's like that. Like, start thinking and talking about what you really want there. Start imagining it, putting that imagination energy towards what I want to create there, rather than the energy that I've had from my past experience there.
Right.
Then I'm recreating the same thing. No wonder I keep getting the same thing, because I keep addressing that primary relationship in my mind the same way. Right?
I could see how that if you don't intentionally create something for your mind to feed upon it or put there, you're going to have whatever was there from before, which could be a bad experience. It could be outside influences that you heard from the television. They're going to fill those spots unless you intentionally put something there to focus on. And then you end up operating your life from that, from things that you don't even know where they came from potentially, or from negative experiences.
Trauma.
Yeah.
We're basically living from our trauma. You know, some things has happened to us, and then so we get scared and we kind of push our energy down. And we don't even recognize that we're the one holding our energy down. So we're taking energy to suppress our energy, and we're holding our energy back. So it's doubled. Half of our energy is holding our energy back, and the rest of our energy is being held down. So like we've got like 10% of our energy being used. If we took off the suppression, we'd have all of that energy, plus the energy would come up. So it's to find out how I'm blocking myself. How am I blocking my own energy? And movement and breathing, yoga, getting into a position where I feel it. Physical blocks, they get into our bodies. They're in our body's cellular structure. And we got to stretch them out. and we got to lengthen them out, and we got to breathe them out, and we got to speak them out. Like, you got to speak to it. Like, I want the low frequency energy to come back up and come back into my life. I got to call it up. You got to invite it up. You got to journal about it. You got to speak about it. You got to imagine it. I'm integrating all of the energy back into my life. May I see, may I know all of the aspects of me that are hidden from my sight. May I know what's hidden. May I know what I don't understand. May I learn what I need to learn here. What are you trying to teach me? What don't I know? What don't I understand? What energy have I got blocked? What's blocking me? What do I need to learn? Speaking to yourself, building a relationship with yourself, that's how it starts, with being kind to myself. That's how I begin to be kind to other people. If I practice being kind to myself each morning, then watch, I'm going to start becoming more kind to everybody else in my life. It's a practice. It's a habit. This is how it happens. We practice it. I don't know if anybody else has anything that they want to say or add. I'm not sure. I see Darky there. And if Darky doesn't want to talk today, that's okay too. It's about comfort for sure. Everyone has to feel comfortable, whether or not they feel comfortable. This is about expressing ourselves. This is about intentions. This is about imagination. This is about breath. This is about our goals, self-loving goals. This is practicing self-loving habit and behavior. This is how we heal ourselves naturally. And I'm going to finish off my transmission here today. I'm going to say thank you for joining in today, everyone. If you have any emails for me or questions for me, please send me a personal email, john@highendfitness.com. Get it from my website, highendfitness.com, highendfitness.com. If you want to get a copy of The Hero's Journey, if you want to get a copy of the seven ideas that you need to make decisions on to be fulfilled, I'll be happy to share those things with you. Writing down your affirmations, writing down your affirmation statements. If you want any resources or videos, please reach out to me. I'm always happy to support. I recognize that by giving, this is how it happens. By sharing, this is how it happens. Bless you. Thank you. Have yourself a super awesome, terrific day, everyone.